Hey folks, 20th of November 2023 here, and we're kind of getting close to Thanksgiving. So I took the week off last week just to recharge the batteries after, trading quite heavily through the war in the Middle East. But yeah, we're back this week. So a short week, thankfully, and so Thanksgiving coming. So if we just scroll up here and have a look today, nothing really going on in these markets. Tomorrow, though, we do get existing home sales out of the US, quite interesting tier one data, and then moving through to the FOMC minutes, which is the highlight probably of the week, really. But yeah, that's coming out 7 o'clock GMT. Then looking through to Wednesday, the bigger day to trade, and the best day to trade this week, I think. Initial jobless claims coming through at half one GMT. Then you get Michigan. Inflation expectations, consumer expectations, consumer sentiment, all at 3. Crude oil then following 30 minutes later. The rig count coming through, I think they missed it last week, and they're doing this week's one ahead of the Friday holiday. So getting those Baker rig counts out there at 6 bells in London. Then Thursday, starting with the Thanksgiving day holiday days. So you're going to get services PMI out of Europe. Nothing too interesting coming out of the US. There is a bit of US data coming out there on Friday. Services and manufacturing PMIs at 245, but we'll be headed for the hills on Friday, and you will have early closure on the markets on Thursday and Friday in around 6 o'clock GMT. So electronic trade will still going on there. All right, getting on to some of these stories. Yeah, so Japan had a tanker of theirs captured in the Red Sea earlier over the weekend. This tanker it's not a tanker, it's a shipping container vessel. Anyway, it is actually owned by quite a prominent Israeli businessman. So that's kind of the reason why these Yemeni rebels have seized and hijacked is the term, this vessel. Is this important to markets? No, not at the moment. But if this sort of broadens out to the capturing of other vessels making the way to and from and through the Suez Canal, this could be quite a disruption to global shipping, right? And so we don't really know what the full intent of the Houthi rebels are at this time, but it's definitely targeted at an Israeli individual, the seizure of this ship. All right, moving on. Really, really big week for equities last week. I mean, look, when you get it wrong, you got to really get it properly wrong. And I got short concept there on the SPOOs from 43.98 wrong on the Friday before I went on a break. I got that really wrong. And so that's good. When you get it wrong, you really want to be wrong. And you don't want to be kind of humming and hawing about it. And so yeah, we're up on equities on the back of this. But to use a term from Paul Tudor Jones, the great Paul Tudor Jones, I think these markets are getting way out front of their skis at the moment. I get it, because the CPI, we're getting close to the Fed target of 2% inflation. But the markets are now starting to try and price in, or the media is certainly saying the markets are pricing in cuts. Now, I don't think the markets are pricing in cuts. I think they're just pricing in that the data is looking really good. So have a read of this, because we've gone from oversold to overbought in like the blink of an eye on these equities. Rapid about face from overbought to oversold, and then back up again. Winning run for stocks, right? This is the third straight week of gains, and what a week here in November, or what a month so far in November for equities, going all the way back to November 2021 on the hard left here. All right, really strong stuff. We'll post a link to this in the comment section or the about section on the YouTube video. All right, here's something that really kind of is a hot bag of horse shit, basically. All right. Sam Altman got fired from OpenAI, and now Monday morning he's hired as head of AI for Microsoft. The whole market is making this out like this is an episode of the Kardashians, like anyone gives a shit. But the media is loving this stuff, the drama of it. Oh, he's gotten fired from OpenAI and he's rehired by Microsoft. But I think we're forgetting, one thing. And OpenAI took a check for 15 big ones, billion, B with a B, billions with a B, off of Microsoft. So who's your daddy when you take a check for 15 billion? The person who wrote that check, Microsoft. All right. So there's no drama here, because effectively Microsoft, from what I could see, are trying to take Sam Altman in-house. They would take OpenAI in-house, except OpenAI have it set up that they are not going to sell out to a corporation They're not going to be owned. It's open source, but it's private. So kind of make sense of that if you like. But the best thing that OpenAI or that Microsoft can do after writing and effectively owning OpenAI and ChatGPT is to take the CEO in-house to be your head of AI. And then he could drive the bus from inside the shop rather than outside. So this is all strategically, like, I think, foretold for what's going on here with OpenAI and Sam Altman. So I don't know. I don't know. The market loves the drama. All right. Mary Daly here, the president of the San Francisco Fed, lover or hater. I think this is just a nice little article summing up where, you know, a large Fed governor, president here is at when it comes to where the Fed are at, where the FOMC are at when it comes to the economic picture, where it comes to a soft landing, where it comes to looking at, you know, are we looking at a recession? She's saying that there is a good deceleration in inflation to come, further to come. Policies are proving effective, but you know, they're not looking at cutting. And I've seen this before. You know, the media saying that the market's up because it's trying to price in a cut, and when the Fed are going to cut and the FOMC are going to cut. It's I don't think it's happening, and I don't think that's what the market's doing. I think the market is simply on a rampage to the upside because it loves a really soft CPI print, the same way it hated a really strong CPI print. It's as simple as that. I don't think we're in the business of pricing in cuts here. I don't know. There's a lot of people out there who smoke crack and trade at the same time. So I don't know. All right. Shortened a week this week. As I was saying, it's Thanksgiving turkey week. It's time to take it easy, you know. So for the UK traders, you know, take the breaks when you get them. Yeah. Thursday, Friday, shortened hours. Volume is going to be reduced. You know, let's just take it easy. All right. Let's go over and look at the charts here. Here we go. So really wanted to look at a couple of different things, but SPOOs is going to be the first on the block. Effectively, what we're looking at here is a phenomenal bid in SPOOs coming up from that soft CPI there. I think it was on Thursday, the 9th of November. So up and up we go. You know, we're knocking on the door of this sort of line in the sand area that I've had on for quite some time. I've had it on because we saw a bit of a capitulation there at that point. Back in March 2022 and again in April 2022 before giving it up back down. But this time is different because, you know, we've come all the way up. Initially, we did sell down off of this line in the sand. We actually sharked it 45, 42 quarters, you know, and pull back. But where do we pull back to? Support is 45.03s and up we go. We should be going for it to the upside here. What is the 45.23s? It's that high we got from August 15th, 2022. Very prominent high there, and just put in a massive selling from there. But look, we're back supported here at this level. I think we go higher. We go much higher on equities because I think they're going to price the hell out of this all the way into the Santa rally, at least until the end of the first week in December. And then, you know, people are just going to be leaving the office and getting gone. All right, oil, what's going on? I mean, what isn't going on in oil? But, you know, I think we're down here because actually we had, you know, Iranian production was increased through October, September and October. The war risk just wasn't there. It just wasn't a risk. Right, you know, there wasn't going to be a risk to supply Iran. We're not going to be closing the Straits of Hormuz. Iran are not going to get suckered into this war that easily. But the main show, and it's come out now only over the last kind of 2 weeks for the broader market, is that the OPEC cuts are about as useful as a solar flashlight. All right, because they've been holding the cuts all the way through the end of the year. Hell, they could even hold them through to the middle of next year. But nobody is paying attention to them, especially OPEC members. And so that's why there is actually more oil available than we thought. And added to that, UAE is out increasing production 137,000 barrels a day after a deal they did cut with OPEC and their fellow members. So, you know, I don't think we're going to have a crazy bid on oil unless one thing. And what is going on here is that Hezbollah are now really going at it with Israel in the north of Israel. There's increased tensions there. There's 4 bombs were dropped today, blowing out a position the Israelis had That's picking up a bit. So obviously, if that battlefront opens up, then that we're really only probably one or two second or third order consequences away from Iran actually getting really involved in this war, and thus the closure or something happening with the availability to ship oil through the Straits of Hormuz. Is going to come to light. Okay, so if Iran get involved, they could weaponize oil. Now, OPEC have said that they don't see that at the moment. We're not really seeing that at the moment, but I think we did come down here because Iran effectively just put their two fingers up to the US sanctions and they kind of did weaponize oil. That's kind of priced in now. All right, so look, I think we might have a hot flush to 79s, maybe 81s, and then I think sell it until you get a Christmas turkey on your table. That's what I'm saying. All right, so that's oil. Look, Nasdaq 16 1000, yeah, 16 100s is the upside target here. I mean, actually, it's higher, way higher. I think picked up buyers here on Thursday, 15806 halves. I think we do 16412s this week. What do you think about that? I don't know. I think that's what we do. I think that's what we do. It's looking very strong for equities. I don't see what could stop them. To be honest, I really don't. Gold kind of interesting as well. Gold here, picking up buyers on the 1968s. I honestly, when I came back to the markets this morning, looking at what dollar had done, which is absolutely just dropped like a stone for the past week. What the bonds have done, or the real yields has done as well, has gotten a little bit crushed. I thought gold would be, trading at 2,000 or above. I mean, okay, it's trading what 1977s at the moment, but I think we picked up the buyers there 1968s, and we should start to kind of see a bit of a bid on gold. But I'm not going to call a level on gold because it's actually been a really shitty trade for about 2 years now. To be honest, it's not a nice clean trade, swinging the way you would like it to be. So, what else? Yeah, bonds. We want to look at bonds and dollar, and then we'll go. Here's bonds. I mean, big trend. We come down, 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 hit the trend. Bill Ackman gets out. Everyone else gets in. And I think we will. We'll be back at 110, 12 and a halves in no time. And probably probably a little bit, probably 112s here. Sorry, we'll be back at 110, 12 and a half in no time, and then I don't really know about the rest of the jig to get back up here. Who knows? But that's the 10-year, all right. And then the dollar is absolutely tostados here on the dollar. All right, we're down, down, down. Effectively, it's a break of this bear flag. All right, this massive, lovely channel that we got all the way from July this year, all the way up to the high that we got there then in September, October, and now we're just falling out. And I think down, down, down we go. Bad news is, I think we're going down to the 102 spot 99s and further on the dollar. So what do you think of that? Price that one in. All right, price that one into the markets. So that's the dollar. All right, I got nothing else for you. Bitcoin, go on. We'll have a look at Bitcoin because everyone loves a little dirty bit of Bitcoin. Where are we going? 42,084s. Buy a pullback there onto as low, as low as probably 31s because it's going to 42s, and higher, actually 46s. So I think, pull back to here. I'm going to be buying 27 700s and move on up there. So get a bit of crypto in your diet. I think it's looking good. Do be aware of a little bit of a trend there. Might need a bit of support on that. 27 650s to then getting onto the upside. It's never a smooth ride with Bitcoin, especially if you like tight risk. All right, that's it for me for another week. Thanks for tuning in. Please do click to like and subscribe, and or join us live in the Discord room every day. And apart from that, stay lucky, traders, and I'll talk to you next week. Cheers.